Now we're moving on to another lecture, the knowledge organization. And what is that? We're starting with a small clip to illustrate what it can be.
So, you have an organization with experienced people. In fact, the stuff they do is so essential to your business that if they walk out the door, you have a big problem. Now, you can hire replacements, but they are often inexperienced, meaning your productivity will drop, while more experienced people are often too expensive, not to mention buying and integrating technology solutions. So, how can you keep that critical expertise in your organization?
We live in a knowledge-based economy, and that is defined as economies which are directly based on the production, distribution and use of knowledge and information. In old days it was more focused on the production, on labor and capital, materials and energy and that sort of things. But today knowledge in itself is seen as a resource and as the most important resource. And some economies, like our economy, is built on this, on the transfer of knowledge and production of knowledge. And this can give a competitive advantage because it's difficult to copy knowledge and it's difficult to transfer, as what we'll go through in this lecture. But how do you use knowledge? Well, there's two ways that you can talk about, and that is exploration of knowledge, where you develop new knowledge, and exploitation of knowledge, when you use existing knowledge. And to get new knowledge and also indeed to exploit existing knowledge, that kind of requires support and leadership for employees to do that. And what we have tried to do in this class and in this course is to actually pinpoint an essential thing with knowledge. There are different kinds. There are explicit knowledge that can be shared and documented. That is know what and know why. And that is basically stuff that you learn by me talking and telling you stuff or by you reading stuff. But then there's another kind of knowledge, tacit knowledge, and that comes from experiences and lessons, and it cannot easily be shared by just writing and reading a text. That does not transfer the knowledge. You need to actually do stuff. That is know-how and know-who, and that is what's very hard to transfer. And we have tried in this course to give you more hands-on experience, to give you the tacit knowledge and not just explicit knowledge that you would normally get through lectures in this kind of subject. And knowledge is not the same thing as information. It is a bit deeper than that. It's more like lessons, and you can also say that it's related to competence. And competence is experience turned into practical actions. At least that's one way to put it. And how do you do when you have an organization with a lot of competence and you want to keep that in your organization? I have an example here. There was in the market of the electrical grid, there was a Swedish company called Vattenfall who had a consultancy department, and they dealt with knowledge intensive work, as you can understand. They helped in the writing specifications for substations and that kind of stuff. And Vattenfall decided one day that they wanted to sell this department, and they had two potential buyers. It was Pöyry, that is Finnish company from the beginning. It's spread to more countries now, and it was Norconsult, which is a Norwegian company. And both of these companies wanted to buy Vattenfall's consultancy department. But Vattenfall decided to go with Pöyry and sold it and was going to sell it to them. What do you think that Norconsult did when this happened? Well, they decided to try to take the most essential part of the consultancy department, to take the value out of it. So they went to the employees and offered them around 10,800 euro as a bonus if they shifted contract and started working for Norconsult instead. So they try to pinpoint what's really the value in this company. Well, it's the employees, of course. We can take them instead, and quite a few people actually went to Norconsult. But the fellow was furious, of course. What happened? They were about to almost lose the value in the company that they were about to sell. So they were acted kind of harsh. They took their access cards and said that, okay, then you have to leave now, right now, quit on this day. And that is very unusual in Sweden, unless you're a CEO or someone very high up in the value chain, because we have these employment laws here. And these people were actually involved in projects, so they were like, what is happening? We need to deliver to our clients, and we need to do what we told them that we were going to do, and now you fired us, or you let us go before our time. We had like 2 months notice or something like that. So it became a news article, and that's how I got my hands on it. So that's what Vattenfall did, and they also tried to really quickly close the deal with Pöyry, and they eventually sold their department to them. But this really illustrates how important the people are. It's the people that are the company. The people is the company in this case. So people are the long-term assets of the company, because they acquire knowledge through what they're doing. They acquire the experience, and it's very hard to move that experience into something in the company. And employing the right people can give the competitive advantage that the company needs. And indeed, educating the right people to get the experience and the competences required can give a company a competitive advantage. But how do you manage knowledge in a company? How do you make employees learn more and learn from each other and experience important stuff to make them more competent? One way to try to do this is to look at the environment, the physical framework. How do they work? Where do they work? Are the right people close to each other? Can they talk? Where is the coffee machine? Do the right people bump into each other and share experiences? Are the resources that they need easily accessible? Do they have natural meeting points, the people in the organization? Do they like to talk to each other? Another way that employees learn is, of course, through what they are doing and through projects that they are doing. And if they are not allowed to do the specific projects that they need in order to have the competence in the company, and then we might have to do something about it. And when we look at innovation activity is a way to learn about innovation, of course. And innovation is a team effort, as we've talked about before. It's teams that learn together, but it's also individual learning, and it's knowledge sharing, because you have different competencies and different experiences that you join together in this team. And then you interpret what you have, and then you integrate with the team and iterate from that.